You don't know what tired is. Not yet. You think you do. You played college football, you ran half marathons, you hit the gym 6 days a week and never missed a Monday. But on day one of BUD/S, Basic Underwater Demolition/SEAL Training in Coronado, California, they make you run into the 58-degree Pacific Ocean fully clothed, lie down in the surf, and hold still while wave after wave crashes over your face. And the instructor just watches, doesn't check on you, doesn't encourage you, just watches. And somewhere between the second and third wave, you realize this is not about your body. This has never been about your body. This is about the 6 inches between your ears and whether what's inside them is worth anything at all. If you've ever wondered what it would take to become one of the most elite warriors on the planet, what it costs, what it builds, what it slowly takes away, this is that story. And it's told from the inside, rank by rank, year by year. You are a seaman recruit. You are nobody. And the first thing they want you to understand is exactly that. The attrition rate for BUD/S is somewhere around 75 to 80% in a typical class. Some classes see it go higher, 90%. That means out of every 10 people who start alongside you, 2 finish. The training runs approximately 6 months and consists of 3 phases: physical conditioning, combat diving, and land warfare. But before any of that, there's Hell Week. 5.5 days of continuous operation on approximately 4 hours of total sleep. You burn somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 calories per day. You will run more than 200 miles. You will do more than 20 hours of physical training on the first night alone. And when it's over, you will not feel like a hero. You will feel like a wet, sandy pile of skin and muscle that forgot what warmth was. You ring out or you don't. It's that simple. The brass bell hangs right there in the training area. You walk up, ring it 3 times, set your helmet on the ground, and it's over. Nobody stops you. Nobody begs you to stay. That's the point. The instructors aren't trying to break you because they're cruel. They're trying to break you because the ocean at 3 a.m. when the mission goes sideways doesn't care about your feelings, and neither can the man beside you. The ones who make it are not always the biggest. They are rarely the fastest. They are the ones who, when everything in them is screaming to quit, get curious about whether they can survive 1 more minute. That curiosity is the only real qualification. You get your trident, the Naval Special Warfare insignia, a golden eagle clutching a trident, a pistol, and an anchor. You pin it on and you feel everything and nothing at the same time. You're a SEAL now. Petty Officer 3rd class maybe. E4 on the pay scale. You're making roughly $2,000 to $2,500 a month in base pay, plus housing allowance, plus special duty pay. It sounds like a living. It barely is. Your first deployment comes within a year or 2. You go somewhere hot. You won't say where for the rest of your life. The work is not what the movie showed you. There's waiting, enormous quantities of waiting. You wait for intelligence. You wait for weather. You wait for a window that opens for 40 minutes and then closes. And when the window opens, 6 to 8 of you drop into a situation that 99% of the world's militaries would send 200 men to handle. You're there for 40 minutes. You're gone before anyone can confirm you were there. The after-action review is longer than the mission. That's the SEAL culture. Debrief everything, own every mistake, adjust, go again. Nobody is protected from critique by rank in those rooms. If a platoon chief made a bad call, the newest guy in the unit can say so, and the chief will write it down and learn from it. That accountability is what keeps people alive. You are now Petty Officer 2nd class, E5. You've been to 2 deployments, run hundreds of training evolutions, and you are beginning to understand that mastery is not a destination. It's a pace. You are always in motion toward it or away from it. There is no standing still. The physical cost starts to show around years 3 to 5. The knees, always the knees, and the shoulders. The number of ACL reconstructions and rotator cuff surgeries in a SEAL team is not a statistic. It's a running joke among the medics. You get a surgery. You rehab it in 6 months instead of the recommended 12. You go back because if you don't go back, someone else carries your weight, and you are not built for that. Sleep becomes a resource you manage, not a luxury you take. You learn to fall asleep in 2 minutes on a concrete floor. You learn to function at 70% for 72 hours straight and still make the right call at the end. You learn that the body adapts to almost anything if the mind refuses to give it permission to stop. You're Petty Officer 1st class now, E6. You've been in for 7 or 8 years. You are no longer the new guy, and you know what that means. It means you are responsible for the new guy. You run training, you evaluate junior SEALs, write their performance reviews, decide which ones are ready and which ones need another cycle. The physical part of the job has not shrunk, but the mental part has grown enormously. You are now managing humans, their fears, their egos, their relationships with risk, not just your own. Your marriage, if you have one, is under a kind of pressure that civilian relationships rarely face. You deploy 6 to 9 months at a time. When you come home, you are not the same person who left, but your family has restructured itself around your absence. And now there's a disruption in the opposite direction. The divorce rate in the special operations community is not officially published, but anyone inside it knows it runs high. Not because SEALs are bad partners, because the job is a third presence in the relationship that never goes away and never asks permission. The transition to Chief Petty Officer, E7, is not a promotion in the traditional sense. It is a transformation. The SEAL community, like the Navy at large, views the Chief's initiation as a separate event entirely. The process spans several weeks and is deliberately brutal in ways that are mostly classified by culture rather than classification. You earn a fouled anchor. You become part of an organization within the organization, and you begin to lead not by doing, but by teaching others to do. At Chief, you are the tactical backbone of your team. Officers give strategic direction. You make it happen. You translate intent into execution. You are the one the junior guys look to when the officer gives an order they're not sure about. You are the one who answers the question no one is asking out loud. Can we actually do this? And you tell them the truth, even when the truth is hard. Senior Chief, Master Chief, E8 and E9. There are fewer than 200 Master Chief Petty Officers in the entire Navy SEAL community at any given time. You have been doing this for 15 to 20 years. You have buried friends. You remember the names. You keep a mental ledger that no one else sees, and you add to it when you have to, and you never forget. The bureaucracy at this level is something no one warns you about. You are filling out forms. You are managing budgets. You are testifying to the utility of training programs that someone in a Pentagon office wants to cut. The mission is still everything to you, but you are now defending the conditions that make the mission possible, which is a different kind of warfare, less obvious, more durable. And then there are officers, the commissioned side, the ensigns who come through BUD/S alongside enlisted sailors, take the same training, earn the same trident, but carry a commission, 01 to 010. Lieutenant to Admiral. The officer path involves more education, more staff work, more policy shaping, more time in rooms making decisions that will be executed by the people they used to train beside. The most respected figure in any SEAL team is not always the one with the highest rank. It is often the Master Chief who has been in the community for 22 years, who remembers the doctrine before it was written, who has made every mistake that exists and cataloged them for the benefit of the people who came after. Rank is formal authority. Respect is earned separately, and it runs on a different ledger. You retire. Most SEALs leave between 20 and 25 years. The pension is approximately 50% of base pay if you leave at 20 years, scaling upward with additional service. You look like someone in their early to mid-40s. You feel about 20 years older in certain ways and about 10 years younger in others. The body has miles on it that don't show up on paper. The transition out is something the community has gotten better at discussing, but only recently. The identity crisis is real. For 20-something years, you knew exactly who you were and what you were for. The mission made that simple. Now the mission is gone, and the skills you built, tactical thinking, stress inoculation, team leadership under impossibly high stakes, don't come with a civilian translation guide. You figure it out. Most do, some don't. What the ranks teach you, if you listen, is not how to fight. Anyone can be trained to fight. What they teach you is how to operate, how to manage your mind when it is screaming at you to stop, how to make decisions with incomplete information and live with the outcomes, how to lead people through conditions that would break most relationships, and how to find your own floor. The lowest you can go and still choose to come back up. That floor is different for everyone. But every SEAL who ever made it through that first surf passage, who lay there in the 58-degree Pacific and chose not to ring the bell, found theirs. And they built everything else on top of it. Somewhere right now, a class of 200 is standing on the beach in Coronado. The water is cold. The instructors are watching. And one of them, maybe the shortest one, maybe the one who doesn't look like the recruiting poster, is about to decide they're not done yet. That's where it starts. That's where it always starts.